Why I don't go to the laundromat anymore. A few months ago, I, a 22-year-old, was at a local laundromat. Since I had been studying, I ended up going late at around 10 p.m. The laundromat is pretty small and is close to the edge of the beach town I live in. The town is pretty well known for drifters and people experiencing homelessness. Most people are friendly, and there is a lot of drug use, but I've never really felt afraid. Everything was fine until I went to move my wash laundry to a dryer. I was listening to music on my headphones. It was playing quiet enough for me to hear my surroundings, and suddenly, I just got the feeling that someone was watching me. I can't really explain it, I just felt the presence. I turned around, and there was a man standing just a few feet away from me. He had pink hair and was wearing a full face mask, like a ski mask, with a hoodie, gloves, and sunglasses, even though it was dark out. The gloves and sunglasses in particular immediately made me feel uncomfortable. I thought maybe he was a drifter or high, but I didn't want to be rude. I tried to laugh it off and told him that he surprised me. He instantly began talking. A lot of it was disjointed and just didn't make sense. He was talking about coming up from Brazil to bring his brother money to get a classic car. None of it made much sense, but he would ask me questions and wait for me to respond, so I just tried to play along. I still thought he was probably just high or something, but he was standing between me and the only door. I started getting this gut feeling that he was blocking the door on purpose, not just accidentally, as he talked to me. He was getting closer to me as he spoke, and the feeling only intensified. I knew something was off, and I just had this feeling in the pit of my stomach that I needed to leave as soon as possible, but keep him talking until I could. I started to edge to the side, but he stayed in front of me, and the feeling got stronger. I started to grip my keys in a way that I would be able to defend myself, just in case. He continued to talk, and then backed off a little. He then removed his book bag, which was a child's unicorn book bag, and set it on a nearby dryer. I looked over to the door for just a second, and when I looked back, he was pulling something out, holding it to the side behind him where I couldn't see it. Fortunately for me, I did see what was in his bag. Duct tape. Instantly, it was just like an alarm went off. There was no more worrying about being rude, no more second guessing myself that maybe he was harmless, but just off. It was like this cold, numb dread just washed down over me. I almost felt calm, like I knew the next steps, knew I had to do something. Time seemed to move in slow motion, and he turned back to me, not saying anything, and took a step forward. I gripped my keys as tightly as possible and tried to mentally prepare myself to fight. I remember being afraid that I would move too slow or be too weak, like in a nightmare. But all of a sudden, the door to the laundromat opened and a woman walked in, barely even looking at us as she went to get her laundry. It was like a scene in a movie, a moment of intensity, just interrupted by something innocuous, and suddenly, it's over. He just turned, got his bag, and left. I was so scared and petrified that I just stayed there a minute until I could get my laundry and just go home. I didn't report it. I never knew what to say, since nothing had actually happened. But when I think about it, I think the scariest thing is that he left as soon as someone else walked in. If he was just crazy, it wouldn't have mattered. I think a stranger's laundry timer saved me from something terrible. I don't go to the laundromat anymore. I joined a laundry service. The extra cost is worth it to never go back.